Hey, I'm still talking about summer drinking trends and I am still on rosé. I did a post about 2 days ago on the trends of rosé. Is it still the drink of the summer or is it slightly fading away? And I got lots of questions. So I decided to do a rosé Q&A. And yeah, obviously, I have to have some rosé, drinking a sparkling rosé, a Cremant from the Loire Valley. It is from France, the Loire Valley. And oh, that is tremendous bubbles. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Loire Valley gets tremendous salinity. It's punching me in the face with flavor. Love that. Okay, but without further ado, questions. So I got asked, what is rosé? Like, what's the difference between red wine, white wine, and rosé? And it's all about skin contact. Okay, red wine, for example, you used red wine grapes, and what you'll do is you'll crush those grapes but leave it with the skin. That dark red color you see on the skin of red wine grapes, they stay in contact with that wine for days going into weeks, and that's how it develops that dark hue and color and also some of that really intense flavors. With rosé, they'll leave the skins on with the juice, but only for maybe a few hours to maybe a couple days, depending on which rosé, and that's why it only gets a slight pink color. With white wine, there's no skin contact, so the juice itself remains that kind of white, slightly yellow color, and that's the difference between red, white, and rosé. With rosé wine, because you only get some of that skin contact, it imparts some of the flavor, but you're going to get more of those lighter style flavors, but also get some of those berry notes. That skin, it makes a difference. Okay, second question I got. What is so special about Provence Rosé? What is that about? Well, I think Provence Rosé was the one that really got rosé to where it's at. So, when rosé first started coming on the scene, everybody talked about this Provençal style rosé. And like the French do, champagne is synonymous for sparkling wine. In Provence, they specialize in rosé. I don't want to say the birthplace, but it definitely capitalized on that trend of rosé wine. And especially it has to do with their terroir. Okay, they have the sunny climates, they have the beach weather, they have those mineral-rich soils. All of that, it contributes to making these beautiful rosés. And again, perfect for summer sipping. When we think of rosé, what kind of flavors? It's usually Provence-style rosé that we think of, and it's become the benchmark for the industry. Now, there's a lot more happening in the industry. Everybody's making rosé now too, but Provence is synonymous with rosé, and that's why it's considered the benchmark for rosé. Okay, now, someone asked me what was my favorite rosé. Now, I try not to have favorites, but I'll give you my honest opinion here, and I'll give some others as well. The first one, it's going to be a little bit more obscure, but it's rosé from a region called Tavel. It's in France, it's in the Rhône Valley, and it is known as the red wine lovers rosé, or it's called the full-bodied rosé. Yeah, a rosé that's full-bodied, and it's because it has even more of that skin contact with the grapes and the juice, and it is almost looking at a red wine. It's so dark. It's not like this straw salmon kind of color of pink. It's almost hitting it on a darker type of red pink, and it is wonderful. It gives you so much more of those flavors. It's more intense with the fruitier flavors, and you can also kind of have some of that tannin note. I love it for that kind of rosé. Again, I like strong flavors, but otherwise there too. I talked about Oregon in the USA. Yes, Oregon makes wine, and they make amazing wine, especially rosé. I've been telling people the Pinot Noirs from Oregon have made some of the best rosé, and I don't know what it is exactly that makes it so special, but again, yeah, they have a little bit more of that intensity of flavor, but still really refreshing. Those are some of my favorites. Okay, I was asked, can you do cocktails with rosé? When it comes to wine, I'm not really a big fan of doing still wine with cocktails, but when it comes to sparkling wine, definitely. So I would be using more of the sparkling rosés to do cocktails. I would suggest trying it in a a summer spritz. And put your Aperol spritz, switch out the Prosecco, and put in some sparkling rosé. It is going to pair wonderfully. Aperol and rosé have some of those flavors that tie in together, will be wonderful. You can try doing a mimosa, put some orange juice in your sparkling rosé, or a sangria. All of these things you can do with traditional rosé. It will just give a slightly different flavor and maybe feel more festive for this time of year. So I made a big claim in my last post, and I said rosé is slowing down, and it's true. Recently released market data shows a decline in rosé sales, and I got the question asked to me, why is it slowing down? Well, it's for lots of different factors. I think one, the rosé market has become saturated. It has so many different brands, there's so many different regions. People are making rosé in New Zealand, they're making it in South Africa, they're making it in the Western Hemisphere, they're making it in South America. Rosé is everywhere. And that makes it hard for individual brands to stand out and for rosé to really tell its story, if that makes sense. Another thing too is that just wine in general is suffering a decline in sales overall. Wine is struggling a little bit to evolve to maybe appeal to the younger crowd. And listen, wine is still a more expensive part of the alcohol industry, so you can understand that economic factors also take part in that. But then the biggest thing, I have to say, it's the diversification of drinks. So when we see the introduction of hard seltzers, of ready-to-drink cocktails, canned cocktails, and these likes, they've had an impact on all forms of alcohol. But yeah, rosé has been hit by that. When it is, especially rosé known as the summer drink, people are now switching to hard seltzers. It's more convenient, it's cheaper, they're health focused, if you want to believe that. But it's all of these things, they're taking away from the rosé market share. And they're not taking away from only rosé, but all of wine, cocktails, and especially beer too, they're really suffering as well. But these are factors why it is rosé has been slowly declining. Do I think it is gone like, oh, we're going to forget about it? Not at all. It's amazing. This is still really good stuff, and there's always going to be a market for it, but I don't think it's going to see the popularity it once did 10 years ago. And finally, I was asked if I think rosé is not really the drink of the summer anymore. What is the drink of the summer? Well, there's lots of different answers to that. And I think it is, we've definitely seen in the last couple of years, it is called spritz summer. Everyone is having a spritz. The Aperol spritz is having a huge moment. I think it's starting to slightly shift a little bit, but it's gone from just Aperol spritz to other spritzes. People are enjoying elderflower spritzes, Campari spritzes, all types. And it's great, it's a very light, refreshing cocktail. There you go, spritzes. And then, as I said, hard seltzers, man, I don't think they were very good when they first came out, but trust me, that they have made some huge waves. Hard seltzers are here to stay. People love them. I like some. Yeah. And then RTDs, ready to drink canned cocktails. There's so many different things that can be in the drink of the summer. For me personally, I will say, hey, you're going to read a lot of articles if you're in this space and everything. There are people talking about a drink called the Batanga. It's a cocktail made with tequila, lime juice, and Coca-Cola. So basically, Cuba Libre, rum and coke with tequila instead. Yeah. And that's great. Some people are calling that the drink of summer 2024. But yeah, sure. For me, I don't know, very good cocktail. But for me, listen, I've been advocating for this, and I think just fruit syrups, in the grocery stores, I'm seeing now frozen purees of passion fruit, raspberries, and all different types. They're just available now. You can just take that, throw in some sugar and water, and make your own fruit syrups, and just start altering your cocktails. I'm picturing myself doing lots of like daiquiris and mojitos with just a little bit of passion fruit syrup and that's going to be my drink of the summer. But for everybody else, that's what's going on. And yeah, that was some of the questions I got so far. But if it is you have any more questions, please leave it in comments in the video. Send me a DM and I will answer all. And yeah, we will see where this rosé is going. Let me know, are you also too? Is rosé still your drink of the summer as well? And where do you see it? Do you like different other styles of rosé? Do you like maybe more sparkling rosés now? let me know everything. But thank you for joining me on this Rosé Q&A, and cheers to the summer